Well, I think diversity and inclusion, or inclusion and belonging, I particularly emphasise belonging because I think everyone should feel they belong, begins right on the first day when someone arrives.
So, I think being yourself at work is the key, and it's something that's taken for granted all the time. But I think at Reed we really see the value in it, and being comfortable in yourself and being able to be yourself is so key.
It's certainly massive for us that everyone feels they belong in Reed and that we create the right culture. For RSR in particular, we've got about 70 different sites. So it's really important for me that that same culture is at every site.
So we have a race and religion group, an LGBTQ+ group, a wellbeing and ability group, and also an inspiring women at Reed group.
Yeah, my proudest achievement is being part of our inclusion and diversity team. We put together all of our initiatives to increase representation and education around LGBTQ+ identities.
We've done a huge amount of educational initiatives as part of the group. We send out Mythbuster posts. We've also sent out regular idol and ally posts, so role models, who inspires us from the LGBT community and why do they inspire us.
For our co-members, we have done things like introduce a transitioning at work policy to make sure that any trans and non-binary co-members have got access to facilities and a clear pathway of how the company can support them through their transition. Because only when you can be your full self without hiding it can you be your best self.
The race and religion group is another of our inclusion and belonging streams, and that focuses on making sure that we can be as inclusive as possible for all races and all religions within our workplace.
So as part of our team, we have a working group of say 10 to 12 individuals in the business who help us deliver things like newsletters, feed into workshops. We've got Black Inclusion Week, we've had Ramadan, we've got lots of different things happening throughout the calendar for the year, and it takes a lot of work. So our working groups have been developed alongside the structural stuff.
During my time of working at Reed, I got married, and I had quite a lot of co-members that were quite interested in Sikh marriage and kind of what's involved. Obviously, not a lot of people go to a Sikh wedding or know what's involved. And because of how many people were interested in it, we actually involved that as part of South Asian Heritage Month. So we did a whole talk company-wide about different cultures and their weddings.
We have a Inspiring Women at Reed group, and within that group we have a number of different subgroups as well, so whether that be women in sales or women in tech.
So I'm in the Women in Tech focus, and we've tried really to make it a network where the women in tech across the business can get to know each other. So it's been we've had a few different things that we're working on, but the most important thing that we've been working on is just for people just to get to know each other and to feel like if they need support from another woman in tech, that there's somebody that they know that they can talk to about that.
So my path to becoming a parent wasn't a particularly straightforward one, and I've been really well supported with Reed through loss, through IVF. I've been really supported through policies, but actually the people themselves.
If you've got somebody who's going through a women's health condition, sometimes those conversations are quite difficult. So we've done a whole series of sort of lunch and learns, breaking down barriers, making sure that people are comfortable to have those conversations.
We're doing a thing on, it's Inflammatory Bowel Disease Recognition Day on May the 19th. So co-members are going to be talking about their experiences. I was chatting with a guy earlier on today, and within 12 months of his first diagnosis, he's got a stoma bag. So just being able to openly chat in a Reed office about your stoma experiences.
We're trying to become more and more data-driven in what we do. So we already measure some of those through a bounce scorecard at business level, but I think it's important to try and have measurements in place to see where you're progressing.
We do track our diversity demographics of our business and our workforce against the demographics of London and the wider UK as a benchmark to just ensure that we are representing the customers and the users that we interact with.
22% of our workforce is, for example, ethnic minority. We're about 51-49 male-female across, and that goes into management as well. It's a very equal, well-balanced business in relation to our workforce. To me, it just adds a real authentic dimension to what we do. And I think it creates better programs. I think it increases our productivity. I think it gives us more resilience.
We also have various accreditations as a business. We're a disability confident employer. We're also signed up to the Race at Work Charter, which gives various commitments. The latest one is the Inclusive Employers Standard that we've been accredited for. And that looks at a whole wide range of inclusion and belonging parameters. What's good about that accreditation is you then get an action plan of the areas for improvement, so we can improve on those areas as well.
And we've had kind of recognition outside of our organisation as well. We had the competition last year with the UK Customer Experience Awards, and we got silver out of, I think, maybe 13 or so companies who'd entered it for our inclusion and belonging strategy.
Just being aware that I'm part of the initiative or part of something that is making people feel more comfortable to be themselves at work just really shows how kind of me myself am involved in improving lives through work, which is incredible.